The president's husband's secretary likes to call herself baby when the company talks about a billion-yuan project. He took the client to eat 50-cent fried skewers, blackened gutter oil, and spoiled meat skewers. The client had diarrhea on the spot. Lin Weiwei stuck her tongue out at me with a smile. Lin Weiwei said sorry. Your baby seems to have screwed up my project. But I tried my best. Baby is still the best, right? Chu Zeffing hurriedly coaxed. It's no big deal. Just treat it as a practice for you. Even if this deal is closed, your half-dead company won't survive next year. Just went bankrupt earlier. Before declaring bankruptcy, don't forget to give the baby a bonus. He has been working hard for the company. Just give him 1 or 200,000 yuan. I was surprised that he was so calm today. He thought it was my company's project that failed. I smiled and nodded. Anyway, it's not my company that's going to fail. Chu Zeffing was surprised when I agreed. He stared at me for a while in surprise. After a while, he sneered and said with a sneer, Songshi, did you know? You Ray actually very petty. Even if you agreed verbally, you must be unhappy in your heart. It's because of your petty and short-sightedness that you can achieve great things. Lin Weiwei pouted by the side. With a provocative smile in her stupid big eyes, he said, huh? Baby didn't understand. Why did brothers Wu Feng, sister Neng Shuo, sister didn't he say she was unhappy? Chu Zeffing was not happy. He snorted angrily, saying I don't know him. One face to face, and another behind. Lin Weiwei hid behind Chu Zeffing. She said rudely that you are a bad woman. You lied to me. I looked at them in astonishment. Even if I readily agreed to his request, Chu Zeffing would always find fault. He looked at me coldly. He commanded, Weiwei is such a kind and simple person. Do you have a conscience? Give him a bonus of 500,000 yuan. Not a penny less. Do you hear me? I almost couldn't hold back my laughter. It's ridiculous. This project was already negotiated and guaranteed. Today's dinner was just a formality to sign the contract. But it was disrupted by Lin Weiwei's stupid operation and caused the company to lose over 100 million yuan. The bad debts left empty can directly crush a company. In the end, we have to reward him. Forget it, Chu Zeffing is not in a hurry for his own company. Why should I worry? I nodded repeatedly. Filled in the bonus application report for Lin Weiwei. I held the tablet in front of Chu Zeffing. I said, Chu Zeffing, please sign to agree. Chu Zeffing frowned and said, what do I sign? I lied without changing my face. Although it's my company. But it's still our joint property. 100,000 is not a small amount. Chu Zeffing was frowning and suspicious, and his sleeves were pulled back and forth. Looking at the 500,000 yuan in front of her, Lin Weiwei was so excited that her eyes almost popped out. Are you done? Let's go eat. Just now, in order to take care of the client, baby didn't eat much. My stomach is hurting from hunger. Chu Zeffing instantly loved her so much. He signed it without even looking. Then he took Lin Weiwei's shoulder and pushed me away. I wasn't angry at all. I admired it for a few beautiful glances. I admired the signature of Chu Zeffing on the report. Chu Zeffing has always been a hands-off boss. Seeing that my company was doing well, he left his company to me. He said it was to exercise my ability. When I first took over, his company was a dilapidated shell company. After a year of hard work, I finally saw the opportunity that could make his company leap forward. His secretary ruined everything. I hope that when Chu Zeffing finds out that it's his company, he can still be as chic as today. I directly took the electronic file to the finance department of his company. The finance department transferred money in panic for this cooperation company. I invested all my liquid funds of 500,000 yuan. It's hard to keep the basic operation, but what does it have to do with me? After dealing with everything, I went back to the hospital. At the hospital gate, I received a text message from Lin Weiwei. You Ray smart. Pay the money obediently. The project is gone. Are you going bankrupt? Congratulations. She will be disappointed. I will naturally get the project back, but it won't be under Chu Zeffing's name. I pushed open the ward door and said, Mr. Xiao, I'm really sorry for what happened today. Xiao Minyuan said, some dissatisfaction. You don't have to blame yourself too much. To be honest, if you hadn't introduced me, I definitely wouldn't have given this project to Chu Zeffing. Xiaosong, do you understand what I mean? I blinked my eyes and quickly changed the subject, Mr. Shah, to express my apologies. I have arranged a VIP ward for you. You can rest assured to recover. Next, let's discuss our cooperation matters. I will personally control the whole process. I deliberately emphasized the word Xiaoming Yuan man. My younger brother nodded. An afternoon passed. I just returned to my company with the signed contract. Chu Zefeng and Lin Weiwei came. Lin Weiwei smiled and threw a room card on my desk. I heard that your company is in trouble. I specifically contacted the big boss for you. Can we talk about the acquisition of your company? Sister wants. Work hard and maybe you can sell more money. I asked. I'm still your legal wife. What do you mean? Lin Weiwei humiliated me so blatantly, but I didn't feel anything wrong, but instead scolded me with a frown. Don't be ungrateful. Weiwei knows your difficulty. Who helped you contact? With your mess. It's good to find a new home. Since Lin Weiwei came, Chu Zefeng and I have drifted apart. Until now, we haven't reached the point of desperation. He can say such words. My fingers turned white from clenching. My heart felt like it was stabbed by an ice cone. It's so painful. In the early days of entrepreneurship are still vivid in my mind. He held my hand, saying that he would always be my backing. But now, Lin Weiwei is just. After a few words of pillow talk, he threw the past affection out of the window. I couldn't help feeling a chill. I looked up at Chu Zefeng. My voice trembled slightly with a hint of imperceptibility. My company has a problem. Won't you help me? How did you promise me? I didn't. Chu Zefeng seemed to have been stepped on a sore spot. He slapped the table and stood up abruptly. His eyebrows were twisted into a knot. Song Shi, you really are with me just for my money. And let me be your sugar daddy. Lin Weiwei immediately moved closer to him, gently patting his back with her little hands. With an innocent and proud smile on her face, Chu Zefeng took a deep breath. Do you think would you have the same dirty thoughts as you? Chu Zefeng's tone became increasingly mean. And this is also my test for you. If you try your best and fail in the end. But unfortunately, you didn't pass my test, he said, and took out a document from his briefcase and slapped it on my desk with a loud bang. The cover of the document reads Marital Property Division Agreement. It's particularly dazzling. As if mocking my past innocence, Chu Zefeng raised his chin slightly, eyes full of arrogance like a charity. I am disappointed with you. I have no obligation to pay for your mistakes. I clearly saw the terms of the agreement. He wants to merge his company with mine. The company is completely cut off. Are marked as his property. This is not a property division. The property is clearly going to leave me penniless. I slowly raised my head. Familiar but unfamiliar faces. He said meaningfully that in business, the tables turned. When your company needs to turn around, you can also refuse to come to me. As soon as the words fell, Lin Weiwei took the lead, as if she had heard the biggest joke, and giggled, and directly fell into Chu Zefeng's arms. He raised his head, with mockery in his eyes. Sister, you should clean up your own mess first. Lin Weiwei exaggeratedly covered her mouth. It's so funny. In the world, how could there be such a person without self-awareness? Chu Zefeng also raised his lips with a sneer. He reached out and hugged Lin Weiwei's waist with a contemptuous tone. Stop making a fool of yourself. When you really have no money, I can let you be a housewife and support you. Don't be too greedy. I saw their intimate relationship. After not loving anymore, even the pretense is superfluous. Completely heartbroken, I picked up the pen without saying a word and signed my name. The sound of the pen scratching the paper sounds like a broken full stop for my failed marriage. After signing, I didn't hesitate at all. I took it out of the drawer. Push it too, in front of me. I hope you remember what you said today. Chu Zefeng was stunned for a moment, and then burst into laughter. He raised his eyebrows and looked at me with a smile. Your way. You're playing hard to get. Who taught you? Do you think I'll keep you by doing this? Seeing me staring at him without saying a word, without any nostalgia in his eyes, the smile on his face faded a little. He still picked up the pen slowly and signed the divorce agreement. He put down the pen and glanced at me contemptuously with a tone of certainty. Song Jin, I'm waiting for you to kneel in front of me. begging me not to leave you. He got up without hesitation, hugging Lin Wei with a gloating face. The sound of high heels tapping the ground gradually faded away. The office finally returned to silence. I looked at the two signed agreements. I didn't feel sad, only the relief after liberation. I immediately picked up the divorce agreement and called my lawyer. My voice was calm but firm. Lawyer Zhang, please go now. Divorce procedures as soon as possible. After hanging up, I leaned on your back. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Chu Zeffing. And didn't notice his company was already in a precarious position. To prevent him from noticing something wrong in advance, I had to pretend to be really cornered. I was going to contact the so-called big boss recommended by Lin Wei. My phone, looked at the address of the business club sent by Lin Wei. A cold arc appeared on the corner of my mouth. Since I've started, then I'll play along with them. On weekend nights, the city is lit up. The city was illuminated by neon lights. I followed the address to the business club called Liu Jin. The doorman at the door was wearing a well-tailored suit and respectfully led me the way. The interior of the clubhouse is luxurious. In the air, there was a faint scent of perfume and alcohol. Through the long corridor, the waiter led me to the door of a private room. He gently knocked on the door. A deep male voice came from the box, please. I pushed the door open and walked in. I saw a man wearing a flowery shirt, wearing a thick gold chain around his neck, sitting on the sofa with a cigarette in his hand, and looked me up and down with a frivolous look. He exhaled a smoke ring, and the smoke lingered. Rao Zhang speaks casually. Beauty, I heard that your company is going bankrupt. I'll buy your company for 100,000. I am laughing. Even if Chu Zeffing's company is facing bankruptcy. After a year of hard work with a market value of millions, 10,000 yuan to buy my labor results. Which is really ridiculous. I rolled my eyes. I stood up without saying a word and was ready to leave. But I didn't expect that as soon as I held the doorknob. The door was pushed open from outside and met Lin Weiwei's proud face. She was wearing a pink dress. Kun pretended to be surprised. Sister, aren't you satisfied with 100,000 yuan? This is already a sky-high price. I stopped and looked at him quietly with a calm tone. If the company liquidates, Chu Zeffing wouldn't be willing to take so little money. Lin Weiwei's fake smile on her face instantly disappeared, and her eyes became fierce. She pushed me back into the private room. Don't mention Zeffing's name. You think he cares about you so much. You don't know that. He said, you and your mess are only worth this much. He waved his hand behind the box door. Two all women appeared immediately. I recognized they were the nannies that Chu Zeffing hired for me. Unexpectedly, they have become accomplices of Lin Wei. With their support, Lin Wei became even more arrogant. Today, you have to sign. Or you have to, without hesitation. And held me, and forced me onto the sofa. They were rude. One held my shoulder. One held my wrist and forced me. First, he pressed his handprint on the contract and then roughly held my right hand, forcing me to sign the contract. Signing, I bit my lips tightly and resisted with all my strength, and my fingers twisted randomly. And the handwriting is illegible. Li Weiwei ordered irritably. He rushed towards me in a few steps and slapped me twice. With two crisp slaps, my cheeks were instantly. There was a burning pain in the room. His eyes were fierce, saying through gritted teeth, you don't drink toast. You don't want to drink. You want to be punished. My face immediately became red and swollen, and even blood oozed from the corners of my mouth, but still smiled provocatively. You're just a secretary kept by Chu Zeffing. Why should I sign just because you asked me to? Lin Weiwei was completely angered by my words. She shouted angrily, Songshi, how dare you look down on me? She was so angry that her face turned red. And lost her usual disguise. She ordered the two nannies to continue to forcibly control me, verbally threatening, and forced me to sign. The two nannies didn't show any mercy to believe that Lin Weiwei was their future mistress, and raised her hand to slap me in the face. I felt dizzy in front of my eyes. Lin Weiwei finally stopped, grabbed the collar of my shirt. Her nails almost dug into my flesh. I asked you one last time. Do you sign or not? My head was so dizzy that it seemed to explode. I deliberately pretended to be weak. I gasped and said, I beg you. Please. Lin Weiwei immediately showed a proud smile on her face and released the hand that was gripping my collar. He took the pen and roughly shoved it into my hand, forcing me to sign the contract. After I signed, Lin Weiwei couldn't wait to take out and took out the company seal and directly stamped it on the contract and admired it with a smile, as if she had seen me ruined. I also laughed with him, laughing at his stupidity, and laughed at him for not knowing. Holding. Before coming, I specially replaced the official seal of my company with the official seal of Chu Enterprise, just waiting for him to throw himself into the net. After signing the contract, the door of the private room was pushed open. Chu Zeffing walked in. Lin Weiwei immediately acted like a bird showing off and quickly ran to him and snuggled tightly into his arms. Brother Zeffing, baby is great, right? I have successfully made my sister sign the contract. Chu Zeffing reached out and rubbed her hair with a doting tone. Well done. His eyes swept over me and saw my swollen and deformed face with messy hair. The pity flashed by in his eyes, but was soon replaced by indifference. He snorted and said, "It's good to give you 100,000. You have to suffer." I slowly stood up, leaning against the cold wall. My bones seemed to be falling apart. I said expressionlessly, "You're right." Chu Zeffing was stunned. This is the reaction. The sarcastic words in the second half were stuck in the throat and took a long time to speak. You hold a press conference tomorrow and publicly announced that the company was acquired, and you quit the industry completely. He has a good plan. He wants me to be a laughingstock in the industry and never recovered. I lowered my eyes. I nodded slightly and agreed. Chu Zeffing thought I finally, with a smile of charity on his face, he surrendered. If only you had been so obedient earlier. Okay, after the press conference, this matter is over. Stop making trouble. Go home quietly. I won't really leave you alone. I hold the wall and slowly stand up straight. I nodded expressionlessly. Yes, it's over. It's not just this matter that's over. This person, this failed marriage, have been completely. I'm over it, seeing my unsteady steps, and couldn't walk steadily. As if he wanted to help me, before his hand touched me, I dodged sideways. I opened his hand. The slightest pity he had for me was instantly gone. Chu Zeffing's face darkened, and his tone became even harsher. Songshi, I thought you had learned your lesson. Come to me when you're out of money. Don't kneel in front of me, crawling on all fours and barking like a dog. I won't even look at you. I suddenly laughed. I turned around slowly and looked at him. I think your suggestion is good. I'll decide to do the same. I didn't care. Chu Zeffing stood there, pondering over my words. I pushed open the door of the private room and walked out step by step and walked out of the business club. And also made my drowsy head a little clearer. I took out my phone and called my assistant. Is the venue ready for tomorrow's press conference? Follow the plan. Also, back up the surveillance video in the box. It will be used tomorrow. After hanging up, and went straight to the hospital to treat my face. The doctor looked at the wounds on my face and sighed repeatedly and gave me a cold compress and disinfection and told me not to get water on it recently. I nodded, but I felt nothing. This little pain, compared to the betrayal Chu Zeffing brought me, is nothing compared to the betrayal. The press conference was already crowded with people. Various media reporters carried cameras, holding microphones, whispering together. They looked at me, and his words were full of disdain for me. I heard that Songshi's company completely collapsed and was acquired for 100,000 yuan. I also heard that in order to grab the project, used improper means. Now she has suffered the consequences. Her relationship with President Chu has long been broken. Chu doesn't care about her life or death. All kinds of rumors and yellow rumors were spread on the spot. Obviously, Chu Zeffing worked hard all night to create momentum. Chu Zeffing and Lin Weiwei sat in the first row, leaning against each other, with a smug smile on their faces, waiting to see my jokes. The swelling on my face has been treated, but there was still a faint bruise. I ignored the rumors at the scene. I walked onto the stage and picked up the microphone with a calm tone. I'm sure you've heard some rumors. But I paused. I stretched out my hand. I pointed to Chu Zeffing and made a pleasing gesture. But I think Mr. Chu Zeffing is more qualified than me to announce this news to everyone. Everyone's eyes all instantly focused on Chu Zeffing, and the cameras all pointed at him. Chu Zeffing shouted, with a confident smile on his face. It seems that Miss Song has not yet faced this tragic fact. Then let me do it for her. He adjusted his collar and strode onto the stage. He whispered in my ear with a mocking tone. Why did you call me up? Would you like to kneel in public and beg for mercy? That would be too exaggerated. I handed him the speech I was holding. With a cold tone, I want to kneel. I don't know if you'll kneel later. Chu Zeffing. He sneered. Obviously, he didn't take my words seriously. With a leisurely tone and with a touch of mockery. Hello, all media friends. The rumor that our company was acquired for 100,000 yuan. With a bang, the audience was in an uproar. The flashlights flashed frantically, shining a dazzling white light. The reporters raised their hands to ask questions. Lin Weiwei couldn't hold back anymore and laughed so hard that she fell back and even whistled excitedly. With a look of a villain who has achieved his goal, Chu Zeffing enjoyed the feeling of being in the spotlight. His vanity was greatly satisfied. Without thinking, he continued to read. Chu Enterprise was fully acquired at 100,000 yuan. When he read this, he suddenly stopped, frowning tightly, and looked at me suspiciously. Chu Enterprise. Songjin, did you make a mistake? I didn't answer him, but pressed the remote control at the right time. On the big screen immediately showed. Chu Zeffing widened his eyes in disbelief, staring at the screen. Because behind the column of the acquired party is the official seal of Chu Enterprise. His face turned pale instantly, and the speech he was holding fell to the ground. The media reporters under the stage first stunned for a few seconds. Then there was a louder uproar. What's going on? The acquired company is Chu Enterprises. Didn't you say Songxi's company went bankrupt? How did it become Chu Zeffing's company? Did Chu Zeffing know about this? He just said it was true. A series of questions came one after another. The scene was chaotic. I bent down to pick up the speech on the ground and continued to read the rest of the content for him with a calm tone. From now on, the legal representative of Chu will change. But Chu Zeffing no longer serves as the president of Chu Enterprise. Chu Zeffing's face froze completely, and his whole body began to tremble uncontrollably. He rushed to the big screen like crazy, staring at the contract intently, pointing to the official seal. His lips were trembling, but couldn't say a word. His whole face gradually turned from pale to purple red, as if he was about to burst into tears. After a while, he realized it, grabbing my collar like he lost his mind, with such force that he almost lifted me up. Songxi, where did you come from? He touched my company. I was gripped by him, breathing in unison, but still remained cold. Dandan turned the last page of the speech in her hand. It was a year. Chu Zeffing threw the company to me, and the full authority entrusted to management, and the agreement for managing enterprises. Mr. Chu, you are really forgetful. I looked at his distorted face with a cold smile. You gave me the right yourself. He froze there. His eyes were fixed on the power of attorney. His pupils shrank. Obviously, he remembered this matter. I said word by word. The acquisition fee of 100,000 yuan was also set by you. Chu Zeffing looked up sharply, staring at me, with disbelief and anger in his eyes. That's right. I bought your company. I tilted my head slightly. I deliberately pretended to be surprised, with a just right innocent tone. Ah, really? But when the acquisition contract was signed, it was your secretary, Miss Lin, who supervised the whole process, and even she stamped the official seal herself. As soon as I finished speaking, I pressed another remote control. On the big screen, in the box, the complete video of signing the acquisition agreement. It records how Lin Weiwei instructed the nanny to beat me, how to force me to sign and press my fingerprints, finally, and how she personally stamped the official seal. With regret on his face, with a hint of choking in my voice, I firmly disagree. To sell the company for 100,000 yuan, even got scolded by Chu. The secretary punched and kicked me. I could only agree. Maybe Chu has some deeper meaning. After all, he set the price and decision. The reporters below were completely excited. The flashlights flashed wildly, and the shutter sounds came one after another, as if to drown the entire venue. The eyes of the reporters towards Chu Zeffing and Lin Weiwei were full of inquiry and condemnation. I raised my hand to wipe away the non-existent tears from the corners of my eyes, choked out. I have a clear conscience. The efforts I have made for the company this year, which is obvious to all in the industry. Now it's time for reporters' questions. Chu, Please go ahead. I put down the microphone in the complex eyes of everyone and walked off the stage calmly and left the venue. I just walked to the door. The harsh questioning voice, Mr. Chu. Song is not only your partner, but also your legal wife. You actually allowed your secretary to assault her. How do you explain it? During this year, Song is in charge, but you keep claiming that the company's prosperity is all due to you. Is that true? Your secretary personally facilitated the low-price acquisition of Chu? I'm kept in the dark. Mr. Chu, have you wanted to abandon Song for a long time? So you deliberately designed all this? A series of questions hit Chu Zeffing like a cannonball. I can imagine that he is at a loss at the moment. And his face turned livid. Chu Zeffing swallowed a few times, but couldn't utter a word. He could only be embarrassed under the reporter's questioning. In the venue, Chu Zeffing suddenly roared hysterically. Songjin, do you think you've won? You failed to cooperate with Mr. Shaw. You're going bankrupt soon. You're not going to be better. His voice was full of unwillingness and madness, as if he made a final struggle. But as soon as he finished speaking, the door of the conference room was pushed open from outside. A man in a black suit and a calm man walked in. It was Xiao Mishuan's confidant assistant. He ignored the chaos on the scene and walked straight towards me and handed me a document. He said respectfully, Xiao told me to. I'm here to confirm with you the final version of the contract. Xiao Mingyu, obviously, he was worried that I would get into trouble and sent someone to support me. And smiled and nodded. Take the contract. Thank you for your hard work. Go back and thank President Xiao for me. Chu Zeffing saw this scene. His face turned from green to white like a palette. He pushed away the reporters around him like crazy, rushed towards me, and snatched the contract from my hand with a fierce look. Mr. Xiao has canceled the cooperation with you. What trick did you play? I chuckled. Looked at his exasperated look. I didn't feel any fluctuations in my heart. He looked confused. He stood there looking at me. I even felt a little. This fool. I pointed to the supplementary agreement on the contract. I patiently explained to Xiao the 10 billion project in his hands was originally won by me for Chu Enterprise. I have always regarded your company as my own company and manage it with all my heart. But you, except enjoying the results, you did nothing. If it weren't for Lin Weiwei's messing up the dinner, Chu's would have already started. The Chu who can make money by sitting at home. Or the business genius in the eyes of outsiders. Seeing Chu Zeffing's increasingly ugly face, I continued. Your precious secretary screwed up everything, causing the company to suffer hundreds of millions of losses. You not only didn't blame him, but also gave him a 50,000 yuan bonus. I almost laughed my head off. Chu Zeffing, how does it feel to shoot yourself in the foot? Chu Zeffing trembled all over, almost couldn't stand. And his voice was trembling. You lied to me to sign, just to transfer money from my company. I spread my hands as if it were my right, with a hint of sarcasm in her voice. Lin Weiwei is your secretary, and also for your company's projects. You've been busy. Shouldn't you pay bonuses from your company's account? You said it yourself. Lin Weiwei, you have both merit and hard work. Why are you not happy when it's your own company? I seem to suddenly remember something. I pretend to cover my mouth and say, oh my, you can't be unaware of this, because Chu's account has no money. Lin Weiwei's 50,000 yuan bonus was directly deducted from your account. The 500,000 yuan was withdrawn from your account. Now only has 250 left. This number is related to. You are so perfect. With a poof. I don't know who couldn't hold back and laughed. He couldn't hold back his anger anymore. He suddenly turned around and rushed towards Lin Weiwei. He yelled angrily, it's all your fault. If you hadn't been blowing in my ear every day, saying bad things about Songjin, I would give such an important project to you, a fool. How dare you take my money? Xiao just got out of the hospital with gastroenteritis. And he was already weak. Didn't I tell you? You can still take him to eat those flying restaurants that use gutter oil. Are you crazy? Lin Weiwei was beaten dizzy and her hair was Several strands of hair were pulled and out. My face was burning. Didn't he expect that? Zeffing, who had always obeyed him, and was terrified, crying and begging for mercy. Brother Zeffing, how can you blame the baby? Baby hasn't grown yet. What can the baby brain understand? Before he finished speaking, Shu Zeffing's face turned even darker, and anger in his eyes almost sprayed it out. Normally, Shu Zeffing would be most amused by his act of selling misery. As long as Lin Weiwei acts coquettishly, he would have no temper at all. The company is gone, and money, he completely lost his mind. Shu Zeffing kicked Lin Weiwei to the ground, pointing at his nose and cursing him. Baby, what's wrong with you? You're 24 years old and still haven't grown up. Are you mentally retarded? Standing at the door, I almost couldn't help laughing. It turns out that he also knew that Lin Weiwei was being stupid. Since Lin Weiwei was recruited into the company, hasn't he done a single reliable thing? She made big and small mistakes every day. He forgets it immediately. He has no memory at all. Every time we talk about him, he always says, baby is still young. Doesn't he understand? Baby will change next time. In the past year, I followed him every day to wipe his butt and clean up the mess he left behind. But Shu Zeffing only sees Lin Weiwei's coquetry and acting cute. He was addicted to playing house with her. It really matches the saying that a boomerang that doesn't hit you, you never know the pain. Li Weiwei slumped on the cold floor, with her hair disheveled, with tears and swollen handprints on her face, with disbelief in her eyes. How dare you hit me?
楚泽峰居高临下地看着他，眼神里满是厌恶和愤怒。
你害老子亏了几百万，害老子公司都没了，我打的就是你。
林薇薇无法接受向来宠溺自己的楚泽峰居然会动手打他，而且下手这么重，她的委屈和愤怒瞬间爆发，尖叫着从地上爬起来，像疯了一样扑向楚泽峰。她什么也不顾了，张开嘴就朝着楚泽峰的脸狠狠咬了下去。楚泽峰疼得发出一声惨叫，伸手死死扯着林薇薇的头发，想要把她从自己身上拽下来。林薇薇却依旧死死咬着不放，嘴里还发出呜呜的嘶吼声。一时间包厢里乱成一团，两人扭打在一起，互相咒骂，互相撕扯，哪里还有半点平日里的光鲜亮丽。看着他们苦苦纠缠，两败俱伤的样子，我再一次觉得自己飞速和楚泽峰离婚是多么正确的选择。这种垃圾人早就该远离了。周围的记者们纷纷举起相机，疯狂拍摄着这混乱的一幕，生怕错过任何一个精彩瞬间。没过多久，接到报警电话的警察就赶到了现场，强行将扭打在一起的楚泽峰和林薇薇分开，带上了警车。记者们也跟着蜂拥而出，想要获取更多的新闻素材。我倍感无聊，懒得再看这场闹剧，转身离开了发布会现场，直接回了公司。下午我正准备收拾东西下班，办公室的门突然被人猛地推开，楚泽峰浑身狼狈地冲了进来，头发散乱，脸上带着狰狞的牙印，一进门就扑通一声跪在了地上，死死抓住我的裤腿。他抬起头，脸上满是鼻涕和泪水，语气卑微到了极点。
阿西，是我之前不知好歹，是我瞎了眼。你明明已经暗示了我那么多次，是我对不起你。我不该相信林薇薇，不该对你那么绝情。你能不能再给我一次机会，再帮帮我？
我看着他这副丑态，胃里一阵翻涌，毫不留情地打断他的话，语气充满了讽刺。
你不是说绝对不会有求我帮忙的时候，现在这又是在做什么？
他脸上的表情一僵，嘴唇动了动，还准备再说些什么求饶的话。我淡淡开口提醒他道：
让我想想你当时是怎么说的。
我故作刚刚想起的样子。
你说要是不在我面前学狗爬学狗叫，你是绝对不会看我一眼的。
楚泽峰的脸色瞬间变得惨白，眼神里充满了屈辱和挣扎。他沉默了很久，显然是做了极大的思想斗争，最后还是慢慢将双手撑在了冰冷的地板上。他低下头，脸颊涨得通红，一边在办公室里爬，一边发出汪汪的狗叫声。那声音不大，却充满了羞耻，每一声都像是在打他自己的脸。我冷眼看着他在我面前爬了一圈又一圈，内心毫无波澜。果然，楚泽峰这种低级的恶趣味和毫无底线的求饶，丝毫取悦不到我，反而让我觉得更加恶心。他爬了好几圈才停下来，趴在我脚边，小心翼翼地开口，声音带着哭腔：
阿西，是林薇薇蒙骗了我，我才会做那些对不起你的事情。她没来之前，我们明明好好的，都是她目的不纯的接近我。 故意挑拨我们的关系，才害我犯了错误。你再给我一次机会，我发誓，我以后再也不会这样了，我一定会好好对你，把公司还给你打理。
我冷笑一声，看着他虚伪的嘴脸，语气冰冷。
出了事就把过错全怪到别人身上，把自己摘得干干净净，这就是你的本事。我们之前还能过下去，那是我还忍着你，让着你，还任劳任怨地帮你打理公司，养着你。你不是向来看不上我吗？说我没有做生意的天赋，说我目光短浅，斤斤计较。现在你的舞台来了，我很期待看你白手起家的样子，看看你到底有多大的能耐。
楚泽峰被我说得哑口无言，嘴唇颤抖了半天，才憋出一句：
我有错，都是我的错。阿西，我知道错了，我真的知道错了。我们毕竟夫妻一场，有过那么多美好的回忆，我现在只有你了，我只能求你救我了。我不要别的，只求你把我的公司收购了，你觉得多少价格合适都行，我都听你的。
我看着他这副贪得无厌的样子，心里只剩下厌恶。他的算盘珠子都快直接砸到我脸上了。我收购和别人收购有什么区别？非要找我，无非是觉得我心软，想让我低价收回，甚至可能还想以后再从我这里捞好处。我猛地抽出自己的裤腿，毫不客气地翻了个白眼，转身就把办公室的门关上了。砰的一声，将门后的楚泽峰和他的哀求声彻底隔绝在外。从那以后，楚泽峰开始每天雷打不动地来我公司求我，我嫌他烦，直接吩咐保安不准再放他进公司大门，他就天天守在公司门口，像个乞丐一样，见人就诉说自己的委屈，试图博取同情。可所有人都知道他干的那些破事，知道他是如何背叛妻子、纵容秘书的，连公司门口的保安大爷都对他没有好脸色，他只能厚着脸皮赖在那里，状态一天比一天差。曾经意气风发的总裁，如今变得形容枯槁，眼神浑浊，满脸沧桑，完全没了往日的风采。他从一开始的低声哀求，到后来的破口大骂，好话歹话都说了个遍，我全当看了一场免费的笑话，对他的所作所为视而不见。直到这天，楚泽峰像是彻底被逼疯了，不顾保安的拼命阻拦，像一头失控的野兽一样冲进了我的办公室。他的脸色难看到了极点，眼眶通红，眼神里充满了一种前所未有的急切和疯狂。
宋希，你必须买下我的公司，你再不收购，我就……
我连头都没抬，继续处理手里的文件，语气平淡地说道：
你就怎么样？下跪求饶不成？今天又敢威胁我了？
他被我的态度彻底激怒，歇斯底里地冲过来，一把抓起我办公桌上的美工刀，毫不犹豫地抵在了我的脖子上。冰冷的刀刃贴着我的皮肤，传来一阵刺骨的寒意。他呼吸急促，眼神凶狠。
你以为我不敢对你动手吗？
我被迫抬起头，目光落在他的手上，不由得一愣。他的右手竟然没了无名指和小指，伤口处虽然已经愈合，却依旧显得狰狞恐怖。我心中一动，试探着问道：
楚泽峰，你去赌了，还是借高利贷了？
他的情绪更加激动，刀刃微微用力，在我的脖子上划出一道细细的血痕。他在我耳边嘶吼：
你少管，我现在什么都没有了，你别逼我。
他抓着我的胳膊，拖着我一路往助理办公室走去。路过办公区域时，公司的员工们看到我被他用刀挟持，都吓得尖叫起来，纷纷躲到一边，不敢上前。楚泽峰急得手都在抖，刀刃始终紧紧贴着我的脖子。
10万块，我就要10万块，让你助理现在就你新合同，把处事还给我，或者给我10万块，立刻签字。
脖子处传来细细密密被刀刃划过的触感，疼痛让我瞬间清醒。我了解楚泽峰，他这种自私自利又胆小懦弱的人，一旦被逼急了，是什么事情都做得出来的。可我总觉得事情不对劲，他的反应太过极端，不像是仅仅因为公司被收购。我努力让自己冷静下来，缓缓开口试探道：
我要是不签，你准备从穷光蛋直接变成杀人犯吗？杀了我，你也跑不掉，最后还是要死，值得吗？
他咬牙切齿，眼神里充满了疯狂和绝望，刀更往我脖子上一顶。
你别磨叽，我已经完了，大不了拉你当个垫背的。
他的话还没说完，助理办公室的门就被人一脚踹开，紧接着 一记凌厉的飞拳从我脸边飞过，狠狠砸在了楚泽峰的脸上。楚泽峰惨叫一声，身体向后倒去，手里的美工刀也掉在了地上。我趁机挣脱他的束缚，迅速后退几步，远离了这个危险的人。只见一个穿着黑色夹克的男人走了进来，正是当初跟我谈收购的那个大老板。他捡起地上的美工刀，凄厉的惨叫声响彻整个办公室。楚泽峰捂着流血的左手，在地上蜷缩成一团，疼得浑身发抖。男人居高临下地看着他，语气冰冷而凶狠。
今天是最后期限，还钱！
我惊呆了，看着眼前的一幕，瞬间明白了事情的来龙去脉。原来这个男人根本不是什么业内老板，而是楚泽峰让林薇薇从黑市找来的人。他们早就串通好了，约定收购公司的10万块由楚泽峰来支付，只要这个男人配合演出一场戏，让我成功贱卖公司，楚泽峰还会额外给他一笔丰厚的好处。人是假的，可那份收购合同是真的。如今楚泽峰真的破产了，他名下的那些财产连填补楚氏公司的窟窿都不够，根本拿不出10万块给这个男人。这个男人本就是做黑吃黑生意的，却没想到自己的10万块投资打个水漂，还只到手一个濒临破产、毫无价值的破公司。他彻底急眼了，便开始逼着楚泽峰还钱。楚泽峰捂着手，龇牙咧嘴的惨叫着，眼神里充满了恐惧。
我会还的，我一定会还的。这个是宋总，他有钱，他是大老板，他能给你钱。
他指着我，像是抓住了最后一根救命稻草，语气里充满了哀求。我往后退了一步，嫌弃地拍了拍刚刚被他抓过的衣领，语气冰冷。
你怎么不找林薇薇要钱？除去那50万的奖金，你这1年来给他的钱也有几百万了吧？现在他连10万块都不愿意支援你。
楚泽峰的脸色瞬间变得难看到了极点，眼神里充满了屈辱和愤怒，嘴唇哆嗦着，说不出一句话。那个男人见状，替他回答道：
那臭婆娘知道他破产后，早就卷着他剩下的所有钱跑了，现在人都找不到了。
他说着，从口袋里掏出手机，随手按了一下，打开了扬声器。手机里很快传出一个女人娇滴滴的声音，正是林薇薇。
大哥，怎么样啊？楚泽峰要道歉了没？就他那种窝囊废，肯定会跪在宋希面前跟狗一样求饶，说不定宋希心软，还真能要到钱呢。如果他还不上钱，那就按你们黑市的规矩好了，我可不管他的死活。
他的语气里充满了幸灾乐祸和冷漠，完全没有一丝一毫的担忧。接着，他像是猜到了楚泽峰也在听，娇嗔又得意地透过扬声器对他说道：
泽峰哥哥，多谢你这1年来对宝宝的付出啦，宝宝会记得你的好的，那些钱我会好好花的，你就安心的去还债吧。
楚泽峰的身体猛地一僵，眼睛死死盯着那个手机，几乎是从牙缝里挤出了林薇薇的名字，语气里全是无法抑制的愤怒和绝望。
林薇薇。
林薇薇却依旧轻松愉快，丝毫不在意他的感受。
泽峰哥哥，别急嘛，宝宝这么好心，还是给你留了一条后路的。你没有钱，还没有命吗？用命抵债也挺好的呀。
楚泽峰彻底崩溃了，眼神空洞的愣了几秒，整个人像是被抽走了所有的力气。他忽然猛地从地上站起来，疯了一样冲过去，想要抢夺那个男人手里的手机。
你把手机给我，我要杀了他。
男人早有防备，抬脚就将他踹飞出去。楚泽峰重重地撞在我的办公桌角上，额头瞬间流出鲜血，顺着脸颊往下淌，看起来格外狼狈。我站在一旁，冷冷地看着他，语气带着一丝嘲讽：
你和林薇薇真是天生一对，都一样的自私自利，一样的无情无义。
说罢，我不再看他，转头对那个男人说道：
冤有头债有主，他欠你的钱， 跟我没有任何关系，我1分钱也不会替他还，你想怎么处理他，都与我无关。
那个男人烦躁地啧了一声，显然对这个结果并不满意。他拿起我办公桌上的一支记号笔，在手里转了一圈，目光冰冷地看着地上的楚泽峰。
那就没有办法啦。
他一步步走到楚泽峰面前，抬脚狠狠踩住楚泽峰的脸，将他的脸死死按在冰冷的地板上。接着，他一把掀开楚泽峰的衬衫，露出他的胸膛，笔尖在楚泽峰的皮肤上轻轻划过，留下一道黑色的印记。男人的语气充满了威胁。
欠债是一定要还钱的，既然你没钱，那我只能看看你身上有什么值钱的东西了。先给你留一个，足够你活命，另一个可以卖掉还债。肝可以切走一部分，骨髓也可以抽，还有你的血也可以用来长期还债，总能凑够10万块。
楚泽峰被吓得魂飞魄散，浑身剧烈地颤抖起来，裤子都湿了一片，嘴里不停念叨着：
不要杀我，我还钱，我一定还钱。
我知道那个男人也是在说给我听，想试探我对楚泽峰的态度，看看我会不会心软救他。我毫不犹豫地走到办公室门口，打开大门，语气平静地说道：
你请便，只是别把血溅到我公司就行，影响不太好。
男人看了我一眼，见我确实没有丝毫要救楚泽峰的意思，便不再犹豫，弯腰拖着楚泽峰的胳膊准备离开。楚泽峰像是突然爆发出了全部的力气，猛地从男人手里挣脱出来。他连滚带爬地冲到我面前，扑通一声跪在地上，疯狂地给我磕头。砰砰砰的磕头声在办公室里回荡，他的额头很快就磕得鲜血淋漓，与之前的伤口混在一起，看起来格外凄惨。
阿西，你救救我吧，求求你救救我吧，我们夫妻一场，曾经那么相爱，你肯定不能眼睁睁看着我被他搞死，对不对？只要你能帮我还了这10万块，你让我干什么都行，我给你当牛做马，我一辈子都听你的。
我冷眼看着他这副丑态，心里一点波动也没有，语气冰冷如霜。
你当初纵容林薇薇对我大打出手，把我打得遍体鳞伤，差点把我打出脑震荡的时候，怎么不记得我们夫妻一场？楚泽峰，你现在所有的下场都是你自己活该，是你一手造成的，怨不得别人。
楚泽峰的眼里闪过一丝绝望，磕头的动作慢了下来，他的额头几乎碰到地面，声音带着哭腔和哀求。
我知道我错了，我知道我一切都是错的，可是你就不能救我一次吗？就一次，10万块对你来说根本就不算什么，你救我一次又怎么了？我知道我以前对不起你，我以后一定会补偿你的，求你了。
我站在那里，居高临下地看着他，脑海里闪过过去种种被他伤害、被他背叛的画面，那些委屈和痛苦，此刻都化作了深深的厌恶。我语气平静却坚定地说道：
如果我们位置对调，我像你现在这样跪在你面前求你，你会救我吗？你为了哄林薇薇开心，能眼睛都不带眨的毁掉我的未来，毁掉我辛辛苦苦经营的一切，你从来都没有为我考虑过1分1毫。楚泽峰，滚吧，我不想再看到你，多看你一眼我都觉得恶心。
说完，我不再理会他，转身走进办公室，关上了门，将他的哀求声和敲门声彻底隔绝在外。从那以后，楚泽峰就彻底消失在了我的生活里。我不知道那个男人最后把他怎么样了，也不想知道。我照常上下班，一个人的生活过得平静而自在，没有了背叛和算计，只觉得浑身轻松。几天后，公司前台给我送来了一份个人邮件，信封上印着民政局的标志，里面的东西我并不意外，是我的离婚证。算了算日期，从提交离婚申请到现在，确实该办理下来了。我拿着那本红色的离婚证，轻轻摩挲着封面，长舒一口气。我和楚泽峰过往的一切，那些甜蜜与背叛，那些伤害与痛苦，都正式画上了句号。我随意将离婚证放进办公桌的抽屉里，没有丝毫留恋，重新投入到工作中。没过一会，我的办公室门被敲响了。
进来。
我头也没抬地说道。门被推开，一个熟悉的身影走了进来，居然是之前那个挟持楚泽峰的男人，也就是楚泽峰的债主。他这次穿着一身得体的定制西装，头发梳得一丝不苟，戴着一副金丝眼镜，看起来温文尔雅，完全看不出是在黑市做生意的人。男人走到我的办公桌前，微微颔首，语气客气：
宋总，又见面了。上次情况特殊，没有来得及自我介绍，我姓肖，叫肖成宇。
肖并不是一个常见的姓氏，尤其是在这个城市里，姓肖又有如此行事风格的，我心里隐约有了一个猜测。我放下手里的笔，斟酌着开口问道：
你是？
肖成宇微微一笑，直接点明了我的疑惑。
老肖总肖明远，是我的父亲。
我心中了然，早听说肖家黑白两道通吃，势力庞大，却没想到是父亲和儿子各执一道。肖明远在明面上经商，打造商业帝国，而他的儿子肖成宇则在暗地里行事，掌控着地下势力。肖成宇丝毫没有架子，神态自若地从公文包里拿出一份文件，放在我的办公桌上。
你放心，楚泽峰的事情我这边已经彻底解决了，不会再给你带来任何麻烦。上次讨债讨到你公司，在你这里闹出了不愉快，我回去还被老爷子训了一顿，让我专门来给你道个歉。
他翻开文件，推到我面前，继续说道：
当然，我也不是空手来道歉的。宋总对楚氏一点兴趣都没有吗？
肖成宇看着我，眼神真诚。
据我所知，你对楚氏也付出了不少心血，甚至之前还调去了自己的心腹扶持楚氏发展。就这么眼睁睁地看着你一手扶持起来的公司被蠢人毁掉，宋总不想救一把吗？
虽然之前没有了解到肖成宇和肖明远的这层关系，但我确实一直在关注楚氏的动向。我心里很清楚，肖成宇完全不了解行业内情，他肯定不会自己留着楚氏，一定会尽快出手转让，而且他不清楚楚氏的实际价值，说不定还会低价贱卖。我其实一直在等着这个捡便宜的机会。我面上不动声色，装作毫不在意的样子，随意翻了翻文件，问道：
那肖总，你准备怎么谈？开个价吧。
肖成宇淡淡一笑，语气平静：
当初谈的是10万，现在还是10万。
我诧异的微微睁大眼，有些不敢相信自己的耳朵。
你现在已经知道了楚氏的实际情况，也知道他绝对不止这个价格，还出价10万吗？以楚氏现在的底子和我之前铺垫的资源，你完全可以卖出一个更高的价格。
我努力想着合适的措辞，想要弄清楚他的真实意图，却不料肖成宇只是淡淡一笑，解释道：
不用有压力，这也是老爷子的意思。老爷子说，宋总年纪轻轻就有如此胆识和手腕，是个难得的人才，他很欣赏你。这10万块算是老爷子给你的一份见面礼，也是对你们后续合作的一份诚意。
我看着他真诚的眼神，又想起肖明远之前对我的关照和支持，不再犹豫，拿起笔果断签字。
那我也不能辜负老肖总的信任和厚爱。
其实我心里很清楚，这笔买卖我稳赚不赔。原本楚氏为了肖明远的千亿项目确实亏了一笔，但项目其实并没有黄，只是换了合作主体，转到了我自己的公司名下。现在楚氏合并到我手里，前期为项目付出的那些花销也能重新发挥作用，相当于把钱从左口袋装到右口袋罢了，还能额外得到楚氏的固定资产和客户资源。时间过得很快，转眼半年就过去了。我和肖明远的合作越来越密切，手下的公司体量也越来越大，业务范围不断扩展。曾经创业初期，我和楚泽峰开玩笑说要成为行业头部企业，那个时候只是一句遥不可及的空话，而现在在我的努力和肖氏父子的支持下，这句话已经变成了现实。我的公司成为了行业内当之无愧的龙头企业，我也成为了众人敬仰的宋总。而在看到楚泽峰和林薇薇的名字，已经是1年以后。那天我在浏览新闻时，一条角落里不起眼的八卦消息吸引了我的注意。
女秘书卷走老板资金出逃1年，在边境地区因车辆失控坠河身亡，尸体已被找到。经警方调查，该女秘书的前男友楚某有重大作案嫌疑，目前楚某已失踪，警方正在全力介入调查。
新闻下面配着一张模糊的照片， 即便人物隔着厚厚的马赛克，我也一眼就认出了照片上的男人是楚泽峰。照片里的他浑身破破烂烂，消瘦不堪，眼神浑浊，完全没了往日的意气风发，看起来像个流浪汉。我不知道当初肖成宇对他的威胁是真是假，也不知道他这些日子经历了什么。或许他真的为了报仇杀了林薇薇，或许他只是单纯的想逃离那个让他绝望的世界。我懒得去探究真相，也不感兴趣。我端起桌上的咖啡，轻轻抿了一口。温热的咖啡顺着喉咙流下，带来一丝暖意。咖啡水面上映出我平静而冷静的双眸。
世上哪有白跑的账？
我轻声道，
欠的总得还。
过去的恩怨情仇都随着时间的流逝烟消云散，而我只会带着这份清醒和坚定继续往前走，去创造属于自己的更广阔的未来。